even looking today, calling for the execution of elected officials and made a video that he didn't like.
If convicted. Execution if convicted.
There was no if convicted, first of all, from the thing that he re-truthed. Why are you smiling? It's disgusting.
Why are you?
Oh, you're not that upset.
Tell us what it says.
But
stop it. No, I'm not upset about her calling him vile, and I'm not upset about the sedition thing either.
Well, you should be, actually, because that actually proves out the
I'll
Democrats'
decide when I'm
point.
upset.
No,
You don't decide when I'm upset.
They made a video
Except
saying
when you
this
make me
guy
upset.
might
You're
ask
starting
you
to make
do
me
a
upset.
Wait, by the way,
Jessica Tarlov's reaction here tells you everything. Instead of addressing the actual issue, Democrats encouraging military disobedience, she pivots into outrage over a line she misquoted. It's the same cycle we've seen for years. Create the drama first, explain later. And when Greg Gutfeld pushes back, the whole performance starts to crack. And before we go any further, this is World Insight Hub, where you and I break down the narratives the mainstream won't touch. If you value clarity over chaos, make sure to subscribe. It truly helps the channel grow. Now, let's watch how Jesse Waters and Greg Gutfeld calmly dismantled the spin while Tarlov's frustration reaches a boiling point. Because here's the truth. Democrats keep projecting chaos onto Trump while their own side openly urges defiance of the chain of command. That's not defending democracy. That's undermining it.
And how about a little light treason? A group of Democratic lawmakers with military backgrounds releasing a video urging service members to refuse illegal orders from Trump. Watch.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law or our Constitution.
We know this is hard and that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
The Army,
Our Navy,
the Air Force,
your vigilance is critical.
and know that we have your back.
Because now, more than ever,
The American people need you.
who put that together? I'm just curious. Like, was that like something that came up over drinks at a bar? Because they don't mention any law that's being broken. They don't even get specific about it. So it's kind of it's a psyop, really, what it is. Because I'm just curious who made the phone calls, who said this was a wise idea, and because I'm trying to think, wouldn't I already know what they're talking about? And I don't know what they're talking about. Are they insinuating something about the National Guard? I mean, there's 1,000 National Guard in the New York City subways, thanks to Hochul. They're still situated in New York since 9/11. So I don't know. Is that wrong? It sounds treasonous until they explain what it is. But the only way you can find it is some journalist has to call up each office and go, who organized this?
I think that you guys would agree with me as people who enjoy how gross Donald Trump is and how down in the dirt he gets, even looking today, calling for the execution of elected officials and made a video that he didn't like. They made a video
Except
saying
when you
this
make me
guy
upset.
might
You're
ask
starting
you
to make me upset.
Wait, by the way, Jessica, we did do this story yesterday, and we're not doing it right now. But that's not what he said in that thing. He said if sedition equals death. He didn't say these 6 people, but we knew that. But I didn't want to get into it here because
Scott Jennings, I mean, even Lindsey Graham says it's over the top, right, to say that it should be punishable by death here. I mean, this seems to represent a significant escalation here for the president to say that something members of Congress did should result in what it should result in.
Yeah, and the White House press secretary was asked directly about it today, and she said, no, that's not what the president was calling for. You said it in your opening monologue. And so, you know, Caroline Leavitt speaks for the president, she speaks for the White House, and I take her at her word. I do think the president is drawing attention to and is outraged by something that we should take note of and should be outraged by. You have Democrat members of Congress, A, raising the prospect that the president has given illegal orders, which no one can yet tell me what that is, what order is illegal, and B, encouraging members of the military to defy the chain of command and disobey the commander-in-chief. And the reason they're doing it is because that's what their base demands. It's why they shut down the government. Their base demands that they try to throw sand in the gears of government operations, and that would include interrupting Donald Trump being the commander-in-chief. I think he has a right to be outraged about this. I'm glad Caroline said what she said at the podium, but I think the underlying issue here is very troubling trying to encourage the military to defy the commander-in-chief. It goes to the core of their belief that Trump has never been a legitimate president. They've believed it since 2016, and they obviously still believe it today.
What this entire segment exposed is bigger than a single Fox News argument. It revealed a pattern you and I have watched for years. Democrats escalate rhetoric, stir panic, then insist they're the guardians of democracy when someone finally pushes back. Jessica Tarlov melted down the moment Gutfeld clarified the facts. Not because Trump said something extreme, but because the narrative she came prepared to push didn't survive contact with reality. And when that facade cracks, the emotional performance kicks in. Then came the bigger issue. A group of Democrat lawmakers openly encouraging military members to refuse illegal orders. No specifics, no examples, just vague insinuations built to cast doubt on Trump's authority. And as Jennings pointed out, this isn't some harmless PSA. It's a direct attempt to undermine the chain of command before Trump even makes a single decision. Meanwhile, the same politicians lecturing about protecting institutions are the ones who tried to pack the Supreme Court, bypass the Electoral College, and hollow out immigration enforcement while crime surged in cities they govern. They want a system they can control, not a system that keeps everyone accountable. Jennings cut through all of it. He reminded viewers that the people demanding preemptive disobedience are the same ones who refused to accept Trump as legitimate since 2016. Their base expects resistance, not reason, and that's why the rhetoric keeps escalating. And when Jennings calmly lays out the facts, that Democrats have yet to name a single illegal order, the whole outrage narrative collapses. Because here's the reality: Trump is highlighting the law, not rewriting it. Democrats are the ones trying to move the goalposts, stirring mistrust inside the military while claiming Trump is the destabilizing force. It's projection, pure and simple. And honestly, watching the contrast in this segment says everything. One side is emoting, the other is explaining. One side is manufacturing fear, the other is pointing to statutes. That's why Jennings' message landed, and why this conversation is only getting louder as 2025 unfolds. But now I want to hear your take. Do you believe Democrats are intentionally undermining military discipline, or is this just political theater gone too far? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every one of them. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. This is World Insight Hub, where clarity cuts through the noise. Thanks for watching and stay sharp.